How's your day been?
So far, so good. Been a busy one. We're getting ready for a show next week, and then a couple weeks after that, a little bit after that, we're to a small tour in Europe.
So the tour in Europe, is that I feel like it was in August.
Yeah, yeah. I think the first day is August 8 or 9. It's like
Oh, nice.
right when
Perfect.
the album comes out. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, perfect. So the album, Call the Devil, tell me about the title of it. Tell me about the name.
Well, when we were throwing around ideas, it apparently Shout at the Devil was already taken. So we
Just a little bit.
so we went with Call the Devil. And it's one of those things. It's not really meant to be taken literally. It's art, so it's open to interpretation. But there's many ways you can look at it. Some people think just holding the device in their hand all day long is, like you're worshiping something, some sort of electronic demon in your hand. I mean, when you
Yeah,
look at your screen time, you're always kind of embarrassed, right? You're like, oh
totally.
my Lord, what have I been doing? So,
Absolutely
you
nothing
know,
should.
right. I'm with it. I'm with it. And that leads to the literal, explanation of like call the devil. I guess it's one of those things where when you do something that you know you shouldn't do, but you do it anyways, like the late night booty call or when you run out of drugs, that type of thing.
That's who you're calling. I get it. Yeah, that's a good metaphor. I like it. For
Yeah.
both
Well,
for
I
both
mean,
reasons.
yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I think it just the amount of time we spend looking at those things, there's something wrong.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah, it's a problem.
Worshiping the
That's like making
electronic
me think
demon.
right now.
Yeah, right?
I want to pick this album apart because I've listened to it a million times. It's so good. It's funny,
Oh,
the first three songs that stuck out to me, I was like, okay, why these three? And it's the Faith No More influenced ones.
sure, sure. Yeah, there's our old school roots, man. Just the true roots never leave you, and you kind of always go back there. And we don't plan on it, but just sometimes the songs start to write themselves, and that stuff just comes out. It's because it's what we enjoyed listening to. It's enjoy what we enjoy playing, and it's been so inspirational for years. So yeah, you nailed it. There's definitely some FNN moments.
Yeah. So tell me about UIOP. I think I got those initials right.
I'm glad you brought that up. It's one of my favorite ones on the
Oh,
album.
good.
It's got like almost a Nightmare Before Christmas vibe going on. It's
Yes.
very pretty and creepy all at the same time. It's got a little
Circusy.
bit, yeah, it's got a little bit of innocence going on, and then it just turns brutal and
Mm-hmm.
haunting. So
Mm-hmm.
that one's fun. But honestly, that's just an Easter. The title's just an Easter egg for another song that we had a couple albums ago, QWERTY. So if
Okay.
you think of your whole top home row of of ladders there, and we just had to finish out that top row there.
That's cool.
And
That's cool.
there's some musical references from song to song too. If you really notice and picked apart the notes and the patterns, you'll see where the scale and where we came up with that idea.
Oh, that's cool. So, when, if ever, I mean, you guys have been doing this for over 30 years. Are there ever times that you have like struggles with creativity? And if you do, where do you usually find inspiration or what do you do in those moments?
You know, Being in this type of band in this atmosphere, it's very experimental. So usually when you hit any sort of writer's block, it's the beauty of also having a lot of other members. You can kind of pass an idea around and see someone else's approach to it.
Mhm.
Because, you can either fall in love with your own idea really quickly or get sick of it too and kind of beat yourself up and see what other people think. And having the time to let it sit and absorb the material itself before you can make a decision on where it has to go is not always easy. As musicians, I think we want to get it done right now because our first idea is the best.
Of
But
course.
but a lot of times we kind of gotta share it and let it go. But inspiration comes from anywhere with us, from movies. We're big film people to video games or some comic book references. Any of the sub and pop culture things. we're big fans of, cosplay and all those, like all the cool modern stuff that's actually, accessible to everyone now. When you think 20 years ago, it just wasn't like this. So what a fun time to be doing heavy metal and art for a living.
Gosh, seriously. And those people that were doing cosplay back then were like labeled as the nerdy people, and would really
Right?
were ahead of
Yeah,
your time.
absolutely. And now there's, more accessibility to get all those cool pieces parts to build your own anything.
Yes.
And there's no excuse anymore either with like 3D printers and AI and just so much fun shit. It's like if you can think it, you can do it.
Oh my gosh, so true. So who writes your lyrics? Do you guys all get in there, or do your three vocalists do that, or who is
Yeah,
responsible?
it's very collaborative.
That's cool.
And yeah, we'll throw things back and forth. Some people would just write a chorus, other people will just write maybe even a melody and then insert the words from there.
Well,
So it's very collaborative, and usually I can't always say we work on obviously the best idea wins, but sometimes we go right back to the first idea. It's like you'll go with that and then pass it around a little bit and see what else is good, and then you end up going right back to where you started because that was the inspiration.
right. That was the winner. So tell me about the lyrics of Piteous. I really dug the song, and then I jumped into the lyrics, and I was like, oh, they're saying something here.
Which one? Okay, so this is with the brand new album. I have a hard
You
time
have
with
the working
some.
titles in your head.
Yeah, so I'm like, which one is hideous? What are some of the lyrics you could maybe tell
Um,
me? I could
oh, let me see
tell
if
you.
I can remember specifically. It had to do with like worldly things and oh gosh, I'm trying to think of what some of the specific lyrics were. Oh, I'm gonna look because I can't remember.
No worries, and I feel bad because I should know the names
No,
of my own songs, but
that's
again,
okay. I get it. I know that that's how it goes with.
even on the set lists for years to come, they always have their original baby names. We call them,
Yeah,
So yeah, they all have these weird nicknames, and when fans get some of our set lists, they're like, "What the hell is this song? What is like?" So
yeah.
Solitaire and Unraveling used to be
I'm
called
working.
Twinkle Toes. Yeah,
That
we had it called It was Twinkle Toes on our set list forever,
oh my
and
gosh, that's
then it
funny.
just turned into Twink years later, like a dog's. Like how your dog adapts 10 different names.
Yes.
So we're really bad with song names. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. It's the bloodlust, maniacal, the totalitarian regimens.
Yeah, and then I'm trying to think how the hook of that one goes. Um, but I'll just
Resonate,
say,
replicate, desecrate, decimate. Does that
yeah.
help?
So that's again, that's part of that post-COVID like aggravation and excitement and just that attitude of being heavy and felt of being like kept up for like pent up for so long, just to get that aggression out. So I
Right.
think that's just more of the vibe of it. Um,
It's a
But
heavy
those
song.
the lyrics that you're quoting though are actually Steve Rockhorst's lyrics. Again, like I said, we pass a lot of stuff around, so he could have his own deep meaning, or it could be a reference to a movie for all I know with him.
That's his baby, huh? All right,
Yeah,
Shame in a
let's.
Basket is like it totally has like a Halloween vibe, and then it has the beautiful harmonizing, haunting vocals. Do you remember Shame in a Basket, that night title? I'm so sorry. I wanted to pick apart the album and totally forgot that that's something that you guys use the working titles.
Yeah, yeah. No, so that was a working title, and it stayed the working title. So yeah, yeah, that one was worked on for a number of years, believe it or not, just playing around with just the vibe of it. And should it be a real song? Should that melody become something else to where, like, when I mean a real song, I mean like a traditional song structure for radio or something.
Right.
And we actually recorded some pianos with Dr. F and I we were at Abbey Road in London, and
Oh
we recorded some grand piano versions of that, like that whole intro, and that was like in 2016. And so we kind of dabbled with that idea, and that song's an example of what I was saying earlier, where you just kind of go back to your original idea and man, just leave it because it didn't need a whole bunch of stuff. And at one time we had a whole bunch of stuff going on. And we stripped it all back down and said it's way more haunting. It reads better. You kind of feel the emotion coming out of the people singing, and you're kind of they're right there in your lap, you know. So we left it kind of the way it was, and then we wanted to make it very grand as it grew. So that one, that's very much one of the ones that I consider more of an opera in a
Mhm.
three acts, if you will.
Mhm.
So you never know, you might see a video for that one because I that one is very dear to me.
It's a beautiful song. I hope so. The album is so diverse. I mean, you know, which obviously you guys are known for anyways. But I felt like there was some surprises in this one. Um, and that was one of them that I really my ear just kept wanting to, you know, play it over and over again. But then I just start the whole album, listen to the whole thing. There'd be a couple that I'd repeat, and then I just go all over again because there's not a bad track on the album,
Thank
even
you,
with the
thank you.
goose sound.
So yeah, Doom Goose. So that was one of the first things that we had done too. Dr. Farrell, Ryan and I, we just have a blast in the studio because we're big on experimenting. We're big on having fun. We're big on just just kind of being open and honest as far as, you know, like getting this music out of ourselves. And we're not shy to put, you know, silly things on the table sometimes. So when we were putting that together, I actually was like, "Hey, I got a lyric idea. Let me get in front of the mic real quick before I lose this idea. Before I lose," and they had no idea, and I had to duck call, and they press record, and I was like, and we just left it. So that's actually the one and only take of the Doom Goose on there. So it was, and then we listened to it and just laughed throughout the rest of the recording. And by the time we got kind of finished with the album, we were like, "Are we gonna put that on there?" And everyone was like, "Fuck yeah, we're gonna put that on there, just like it is." So that little Easter egg bonus, I think more for us than anyone, but we hope everyone enjoys it. We do have a plan though, possibly doing that one live and seeing if everyone can bring their own duck call and sing along.
That's fun. Oh, that's such a fun idea. And it's a perfect outro to the album because then it goes back to the kind of like redneck beginning, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Like
So, and
perfect.
again, that that's gravy. He likes to have fun. Playing, and it's not just about metal. He has no problem picking up a banjo and sitting there and just ripping on it. So he was just kind of doing that picking and grinning style stuff. And we were just having fun. I'm like, do that again, do that again. And I started throwing a kick drum in it, and next thing you know, we kept it, and there it is on the first track in the album.
Funny. I thought it was a sound clip. I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, that's just us having fun.
Oh my gosh, that's so awesome. I know you're probably super busy, so I don't want to take a whole lot of your time, but I think this is an important question that I like to ask everybody. What are some things you do for self-care? You guys are obviously very busy. What are some things you do to kind of help keep yourself balanced?
Well, honestly, I mean, for me personally, big one is, diet and exercise. I quit drinking alcohol. I haven't even had a beer in over 4 years. So, I mean, that's a big one. Yeah, as I got older, just kind of get over certain things and just, you realize your body is is your temple to some degree. You've got to take care of it. It's only going to last so long. We all know this. So, one of those things, as, time's gone on, I like to do a lot of that stuff and, like personally take time out sometimes, take Sundays off, no matter what, decompress a little bit. It's amazing how you can burn out without realizing how fast you burn out. So it's important to take time off if you can and, love everyone around you that you got close to you because nothing is guaranteed.
Absolutely. I love that. I think that's perfect. What are some things that you do in your spare time, and what'll be the last one if you have spare time?
Well, all this stuff kind of goes hand in hand. And because I'm so addicted to the craft, I have my hands in a lot of it as far as say the video aspect and not just, the directing. I'm into the cameras and the lenses and, the software and the coloring stuff after. So it becomes nerd city. Same thing with the audio recording, all the audio software, the microphones, the compressors. you know, like I've been in that craft for so long. So it all kind of goes hand in hand as like a hobby and a career. So I'm really blessed to make music and art. But when I'm not doing that, I like to get out on a mountain bike every now and again if I can. The weather cooperates here in Cleveland. I like riding a lot, and I still smoke a lot of pot.
There you go. There you go. There's the balance too. Well,
Yeah,
awesome.
absolutely.
Well, thank you for taking this time with me. The album is so incredible. I'm really excited for everybody to hear. And, you know, you've just released the two, and I feel like it doesn't even show what people are in for, you know?
Thank you so much. Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. It's like they're not almost they're not just a full representation of that album. There's so much more that's gonna be, you know, like more on the singing, more on the doomy, more on the like there's a lot on this album. So I hope everyone gives the whole thing a chance, and I hope they like it as much as we do.
Yes, yes. The composition itself, I feel like is like a whole ride.
Yeah, that's a really fun journey.
Yeah,
That one came out great. Every time I listen to it, I'm like, man, listen to the guitar sound on that one. It's solid.
so good. So good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Yeah. Have a
Hey,
wonderful rest of your day.
hey,
Yeah.
yeah, you too. Personally, I just want to say thank you for all you do. I've been doing this a long time and doing all these interviews, all this stuff. It's a pleasure and it's an honor because you know back in the day we had fax machines. We were lucky to get a telephone call in, and you know for people like you to love metal and want to share it with everyone. I mean, we share a passion and there's a lot in common here. So I just want to personally say thank you.
You. That's very nice of you. I love doing this. I get to pick, you know, some of the best brains, and I obviously love music, and so it's like such an honor to be able to pick people's brains that I have so much respect for, you know.
Right on. Yeah, no, it's great to get to do what we love to do. So
Yeah,
we're very blessed. So yeah,
I agree.
absolutely. Thank you again and have a great day.
You too. Thank you so much.
All right, take care.
You too. Bye.